Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. In this video, we are going to be taking a look at something called three-valued logic and how it can cause some unexpected scenarios when you're querying your database. Before we get into that, I just want to take 2 minutes to talk through the man behind the concept of three-valued logic and how it actually relates to databases, sort of bridging it with the real world, if you would like. So I'm going to come over to Wikipedia and we're going to look at a gentleman named Jan Łukasiewicz, I believe is how you say it. And he was a Polish logician and philosopher who came up with something called three-valued propositional calculus. He's the pioneer investigator of it. And if we jump into this page, it is also known as three-valued logic, abbreviated as 3VL. If you come down to the motivation, 3VL is to represent the truth value of a statement that cannot be represented as true or false. And if we try and understand what that means, if we think about an everyday conversation with a family member or a friend, they ask you, are you going to the shops tomorrow? You could answer yes, you could answer no, but either of those would commit you to either going or not going to the shop tomorrow. As a third very likely answer that you may give, maybe, possibly, depends if it's raining, depends if I've got to work, depends if any number of things you come up with. And Łukasiewicz basically came up with this idea that there is a third option, which is a possible or an unknown value, if you like. I believe his idea behind it was a possible statement. Within databases, however, this is directly correlated to the fact we can sometimes have columns which we're trying to represent the truth of a situation about a system or about a data set, but we simply don't have the values. And this might come in where you're doing work on perhaps analytics, where the customer has opted out of their additional cookies. There could be any number of reasons, perhaps just the data set isn't complete yet. A customer hasn't completed a particular part of their journey. If you're dealing with customers even, there are a whole realm of things you could get into. But working within data, you are always going to come across nulls. And whilst nulls can be used in a number of ways, they're generally a representation that the value of that particular part of the data set is unknown. And the unknown is the important part. I'm going to now break this out into SQL and how this works. So over here in Postgres, what I've created is a very simple scenario where we are running a shoe store, an online shoe store. And we have a set of manufacturers and a set of products. These are the two tables. The tables are very simple. You can see the create statements here. The manufacturers have an ID and a name, and the products have an ID, name, manufacturer ID, and price. If we take a quick look at our manufacturers, wait for the database to warm up. We have two manufacturers, Nike and Adidas. And within the products, we have 5 products, 2 from Nike, 2 from Adidas, but a 5th product, which is a £10 gift card, which doesn't actually have a manufacturer. And this will become important in the later queries. We can see these, we can join these two tables together and take a quick look at what that looks like. So these are all of our products in their entirety. Try to remember these. I've tried to keep this table as small as possible, but this is how our database is going to fit together. Particularly note the price. Adidas, these values are £45 and £40. These values are Nike. The values for Nike are over £100. So our first query, let's role play a scenario here for a second. You sit down on Monday morning, there's an email in your inbox from the boss, and the boss is asking, can you get me all of the manufacturers we stock products for where the price is less than £50? Now, there are a number of ways you could write this query. However, the way I've chosen to write it in this particular case is using the in statement. And what the in statement is doing here is we basically select all of the manufacturer IDs from the products table where the price is less than £50. And you'll note that we pull back null and 2, because if we come back to our join table here, this £10 gift card, remember, it doesn't have a manufacturer. So when we run this statement, we are pulling back null and 2. Now we want to get the name of all the manufacturers where that ID is in this set. So we will only be pulling back Adidas. Before we move on, what I would like to take one more quick second to do is just break out what this in statement is doing so that we're fully understanding how the database is expanding this query out in the background. In is a nice keyword. It's a useful thing to have. You can drop it in a pinch rather than having to manage joins or anything else. So we are going to select the name from the manufacturers, just as we have up here. But then this where statement is expanded out as follows. We have the IDs of null and to, which were returned from this statement here. And the way that this statement will be expanded out is we will check where ID equals 2 or ID equals null. If we come back up to our manufacturers, where are we? Here we are. First row, does the ID equal 2? Nope. Or does the ID equal null? You can't actually do an equals null check. To check for nullness, you have to do an is or is not null. That is how you would do a comparison for null in a database. This statement is actually not valid. This will evaluate to null. So this first row, Nike, is not going to return. The second row, we check if the ID equals 2, the ID does equal 2, or the ID equals null. Again, cannot do that. That is going to evaluate to null. But because this keyword is an or, we don't actually need both of these to be true. We only need one of them to be true. And in this case, Adidas has returned true. So we can run this and it returns the exact same result. You email that back to the boss, Adidas, and you get a reply back within 2 minutes. Can I have all of the manufacturers where the price is greater than £50? A number of ways you could write this query. You could change this less than to a greater than or equal to, and I could run this statement, and that's going to return us Nike. Just change this back. Or we could use the inverse of in and say not in, because we've already done all of the hard work here. We don't want to be rewriting the whole query and messing around with these sorts of things. So we can just replace this with a not in, and that's going to return us the inverse, right? Well, no, it comes back blank. And this is something where if you're writing a 4, 5, 6,000 line view or stored procedure, you execute it and nothing comes back. It could be a bit sort of a, what's going on moment? You know, is the data still there? And you check the manufacturer's table and you check the products table, and yes, everything's in there. What's actually going on here? Well, by putting this not in statement, you've fundamentally changed how this statement is expanded. Because rather than checking if each row meets a particular condition using an or statement, we now have to use an and statement because we need to check that all of these conditions are not true. So if we expand this out again, we can use the same where clause on here. Apart from, we need to replace this or with an and. And for an and to return, we need both values to be true. So let's go ahead and run through our manufacturers again. And this is a real tongue twister, so you have to bear with me if I get the right table. Nike, ID does not equal 2. 1 does not equal 2, so that's true. And ID does not equal null. Well, again, we can't do this check because ID does not equal null. You can't check an integer value against null like that. You would have to say is or is not null. Therefore, that's going to evaluate to null. So we've got true and null. And if we have a look at what true and null would return, select true and null, it's going to return null. It's not going to return true. So this Nike isn't going to return. We come down to Adidas was the second one. I should have dropped that a little bit lower on the page, where ID, so 2 does not equal 2. Well, that's false. And ID does not equal null. Again, we can't do this. We're doing an and, but both of this is going to be false and null. going to return false. So that is why this is returning nothing. Before I get on to how you would fix this, I am just going to very quickly show you another way I thought this could be represented to try and explain it. What I've done here is I've selected from the manufacturers the ID and the name. And then what I've gone ahead and done is I've dropped our two expanded statements in here as is_in, which was the ID equals 2 or ID equals null. This is our is_in, ID equals 2 or ID equals null. And our is_not_in, ID does not equal 2 and ID does not equal null. And these are the results we get back. So for is_in, Nike returns null and Adidas returns true. And for a row to return in this statement, it needs a true value in this column. And Adidas is the only one that has true, which is why when we run that first statement, Adidas was returned. Again, is_not_in, we're looking for a true to return a particular row, but the Nike is returning null and Adidas is returning false. Therefore, we get no rows. So hopefully that's just a slightly different way you can perhaps get your head around what's going on here. But ultimately, the culprit of it is the nullness check. When you have a null value, or that third value from the three-valued logic, when you have that null value in your set that you are checking against, if you do a not in, that is never going to be able to return anything. So how can we fix it? Well, as I explained before, we could just change this to a greater than or equal to. Or we could come in here and we could exclude null. So at the moment, this is returning nothing. But we could come in here and we could say and, okay, that wants to be lowercase, and manufacturer ID is not null. And if I just run this statement here for a second, this is now only going to return the value of 2. And if I run this statement, that is going to return Nike. Hopefully that demystified three-valued logic for you a little bit. It's something that when you come across it, you might not realise that is what is causing the issue. I've been caught out a couple of times with it. There's a number of other scenarios where it can come up. It's always very important to check how the database is expanding the queries that you are giving it and what data it is actually returning from within perhaps subqueries or particular joins or case statements. Case statements can cause, if a null comes into a case statement, it can cause it to fall right through to your catch-all. So there's a number of different ways that this three-valued logic can actually cause issues. The not in is the most prevalent of them. And if you ever come across it, hopefully you're now well equipped to deal with it. If you reached up to this point in the video, thank you so much for watching. If you've got any comments or questions, please drop them in the comment section below, and I will speak to you in the next video. Bye.